It was a while ago that I had this conversation with someone, and I told her what I was up to doing hypnosis for athletes for peak performance to help them up their mental game so that they could perform better. I've worked with a lot of different people for a lot of different things in hypnosis, and it's very gratifying to help someone quit smoking or get over their anxiety issues that have been stopping them in life. And believe me, that's all very rewarding. But there's something special for me about working with athletes and helping them perform better, because the things that I'm going to show them that they can do to help them operate their mind in a better fashion is going to serve them not just on the playing field, but all throughout their life. So I told this person what I was up to. I said, what really lights me up, what I really enjoy doing is working with athletes, especially youth athletes and people who just want to perform better. And she's a coach. And a lot of times coaches, they somehow think that you're like a sports coach. They somehow think that you're infringing upon their territory. Like, what do you mean you're going to help athletes with the mental game? I already do that. I'm coaching them. I already do that. And they think that they are. And to some degree, they're doing the best they can. But usually they don't have a whole lot of training in that area, and they're usually given good advice. And so she said to me, "Oh, I already know all about affirmations." And I said, "Oh, really? That's good." And I just left it there because I'm really not interested in convincing anyone of anything. Some people are going to see the value in what you're doing, and they're going to get it right away. They're going to say, wow, I can see where that is something useful. That's something that an athlete or anyone who wants to up their performance could really improve themselves by using their mental faculties in a different way. If you're trying to convince them to see what they're not seeing, it's almost like pushing a wheelbarrow uphill. I don't want to push no wheelbarrow uphill. I've done that. I don't want to do that. If it's flat ground, okay. If it's a little bit downhill, better yet. But pushing it uphill, no thanks. If you already have a fixed mindset and you're not open to anything new and you think you already know, that's great. I hope it works out for you. And it's a bit like that when you talk to yourself. If you give yourself affirmations, it's almost like there's a quality of trying to convince yourself of something that you might not fully believe. And if you don't really believe what you're saying to yourself, it's probably not going to land well. It's probably not going to do you much good. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about the distinction and the difference between an affirmation, where you're trying to convince yourself of something that maybe you think it could be true, and a mantra. A mantra is more of reminding yourself of something that you already believe is true. Now, that is a very useful thing. And it's a lot like trying to convince somebody who's already has a fixed mindset about the way things are. You can possibly convince them, but it's going to take a whole lot of effort. And chances are you're probably not going to get them to fully buy into what you're saying, because people are smart. Most people are intelligent to some degree. And so they've already think they've figured things out. Maybe they don't have the big picture, and maybe they don't have enough data to really make an informed decision. But I just wanted to say that when it comes to having a mantra, now that's a powerful thing to remind yourself. Like if you say to yourself an affirmation like, I'm confident, I'm strong, and I'm confident, and you don't really believe it, that might not land that well. It might be better if you were to say, I want to connect to my strength and my confidence. Now, that's presupposing that there's already some strength and already some confidence within you, and you recognize that. And so if you tell yourself something that you already know is true, and it's almost like you're reminding yourself. For instance, if someone is judging you, that doesn't really say anything about you. You know, a lot of people are overly concerned with what people are thinking about them, what they're saying about them. If they're having thoughts about you, which in most cases they're not even thinking about you, you're not even on their radar in most cases. But regardless of what they think about you, it makes no difference in terms of who you are. It makes zero difference. What somebody thinks of me doesn't change who I am. So you might say something like, my power comes from within. To remind yourself of that fact can be a very useful thing. Self talk is a key piece to how we meet the world. Follow me for more. Tom Mulryan, equestrianhypnocoach.com.